100 Things Successful People Do by Nigel Cumberland. Introduction. Success is not luck. It's built step by step, action by action. Every extraordinary person you admire didn't stumble into success. They designed it. They made small, intentional choices every single day that stacked up into an unstoppable momentum. But here's the secret most people miss. Success leaves clues. And when you study those clues, you shortcut years of frustration, wasted effort, and guesswork. That's exactly what this video is about. In this video, we're diving deep into the life-changing book 100 Things Successful People Do by Nigel Cumberland. This book is not theory. It's a treasure chest of practical, proven, achievable habits that the world's most successful people follow. From mindset to discipline, from relationships to legacy, Cumberland breaks down what works and how you can apply it starting today. By the end of this video, you'll have 100 battle-tested actions that can help you unlock your potential, elevate your performance, and create a life of success on your terms. This isn't about overnight results. It's about building the foundation for lasting achievement. Stay with me until the end, because I'll be sharing a powerful reflection and challenge to help you put these ideas into action immediately. Let's get started. Section 1. Success is built on self-belief. Here's a truth many people overlook. Success doesn't begin with opportunity, money, talent, or connections. It starts deep within, with belief. If you don't believe you deserve success, if you don't believe you can create it, no amount of resources will change your life. On the other hand, when you cultivate unshakable self-belief, you unlock a level of potential most people never tap into. That's the first foundation of success, and it's exactly where Nigel Cumberland begins in 100 Things Successful People Do. Think about it. Every action you take, every risk you avoid, every goal you set or ignore is filtered through your belief system. If your internal dialogue tells you, "I'm not good enough," "people like me don't succeed," or "it's too late for me," your actions will shrink to match those limiting beliefs. But when your inner voice says, "I'm capable," "I have value," and "success is possible for me," your behaviors expand. You try, you persist, you create momentum. This isn't just motivational fluff. Science backs it up. Neuroscience research shows that belief rewires the brain. Our thoughts literally shape neural pathways. When you consistently affirm empowering beliefs, your brain starts to filter information differently. You notice opportunities you once ignored. You become more resilient when facing challenges. You take action where fear once ruled. It's called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize and adapt based on new patterns of thinking. That's why successful people work relentlessly on their mindset. They don't wake up every day feeling unstoppable. They train themselves to believe through repetition, reflection, and practice. Affirmations, visualization, and upgrading your internal dialogue are powerful tools to build that belief muscle. Affirmations might sound simple, but when repeated daily with emotion and intention, they gradually override years of negativity. Saying, "I am worthy of success," "I have what it takes," or "I create my opportunities," isn't just words. It's mental reconditioning. Your subconscious mind absorbs those phrases, shaping your confidence and behaviors over time. Visualization takes it even further. Successful people often picture themselves already living their goals. Closing the deal, giving the speech, launching the business. Your brain doesn't fully distinguish between imagined success and real success. So visualizing primes your mind and body for achievement. Athletes, entrepreneurs, and peak performers use this daily to program their outcomes. And your internal dialogue, that constant mental chatter, is the most critical battleground. Pay attention to how you speak to yourself when you fail, when you're uncertain, when fear creeps in. Are you your harshest critic, tearing yourself down? Or your greatest ally, reminding yourself of your strength? Upgrading your inner dialogue from criticism to encouragement transforms how you show up. Few people embody the power of self-belief like Oprah Winfrey. Her story is legendary, not because of where she started, but because of what she believed, despite the odds. Born into poverty in rural Mississippi, raised in hardship, facing racism, abuse, and overwhelming obstacles, statistically, she wasn't supposed to succeed. But Oprah had an unshakable inner belief that her life could be different, that she had something valuable to offer, and that success was within reach. Even as a young girl, she visualized herself on stage, speaking to millions. Despite countless rejections and moments of failure, she maintained her belief that she could rise higher, and that belief propelled her to build an empire. From talk show host to media mogul, philanthropist, and global inspiration. Oprah's journey proves that belief isn't about ignoring reality. It's about rewriting your personal reality from the inside out. So let me ask you, what's holding you back? What limiting belief has quietly shaped your actions, your self-image, and your results? Maybe you've told yourself you're not smart enough, too old, too young, lacking connections, or born into the wrong circumstances. But here's the empowering truth. Those beliefs are not facts. They're stories. And stories can be rewritten. Today, challenge yourself to rewrite one limiting belief. Take a blank piece of paper. Draw a line down the middle. On the left side, write the belief that's held you back. Be honest. It could be, I always fail. I'm not leadership material. Or, people like me can't succeed. Now, on the right side, rewrite that belief with an empowering alternative. Replace, I always fail, with, every setback makes me stronger and wiser. Swap, I'm not leadership material, with, I'm developing the skills to lead with confidence. Read your new belief out loud every morning and every night. Visualize yourself living from that belief. Speak to yourself like your greatest supporter, not your harshest critic. Day by day, you'll notice your confidence grow. Your actions will align with your new belief system. And success will follow. Because it always starts within. Remember, the world doesn't determine your potential. Your belief system does. Success is built on self-belief. Cultivate it, protect it, strengthen it, and watch how your life transforms. Section 2. Take responsibility for your life. If there's one thing that separates truly successful people from the crowd, it's this. They take full responsibility for their lives. They don't wait for luck. They don't depend on others to rescue them. And most importantly, they reject the victim mentality. They understand one simple, life-changing truth. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can always control how you respond, what actions you take, and the direction you choose to move in. Success is not about avoiding hardships. It's about owning your response to them. It's about stepping into the driver's seat of your life and saying, "This is my journey, and I'm in control of where it goes." That's the mindset Nigel Cumberland highlights in 100 Things Successful People Do. It's not just about ambition, it's about ownership. But here's the problem. Most people live trapped in blame and excuses. It's easy to point the finger at your upbringing, the economy, your boss, your education, your lack of time, or your circumstances. It's tempting to believe success isn't possible for people like me, or that life is unfairly stacked against you. But that thinking keeps you powerless. The moment you blame something outside yourself, You give away your ability to change your situation. Successful people know better. They reject the victim story, even when life has been hard, unfair, or overwhelming. Why? Because empowerment begins with ownership. When you accept responsibility for your life, your choices, your results, your future, you reclaim your power to create change. You stop waiting for permission or for circumstances to improve. You start improving yourself. Taking responsibility doesn't mean blaming yourself for every setback. It means refusing to be defined by your circumstances. It means asking, what can I do differently? What choices are in my hands? What actions can I take today to shape my future? That's where success begins. Let's make this practical. One of the most powerful exercises you can do is to audit your excuses. Grab a notebook and be brutally honest. List the reasons you've told yourself you can't succeed. Maybe it's lack of money, time, confidence, support, or resources. Then, challenge each excuse with a solution-focused mindset. For example, excuse: I don't have time to work on my goals. Responsibility. Mindset: I can wake up 30 minutes earlier, reduce my screen time, or schedule focused time in the evenings. Excuse: I wasn't born into wealth or privilege. Responsibility. Mindset: I can build skills, seek mentors, and outwork my circumstances. Excuse: people like me can't succeed. Responsibility mindset: plenty of people have succeeded from harder places. I can learn, grow, and rise too. This is the shift successful people make daily. They don't dwell on barriers. They focus on solutions. They refuse to let excuses become their identity. Few success stories demonstrate this better than J.K. Rowling's journey to literary stardom. Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, Rowling was a struggling single mother living on welfare, facing rejection after rejection from publishers. Life could have easily made her bitter, hopeless, and defeated. She had every reason to adopt the victim mentality: hardship, financial struggle, personal loss. But she didn't. Instead, Rowling took full responsibility for her dream. She refused to blame circumstances for her lack of progress. She kept writing, editing, and submitting her manuscript, even when rejection letters piled up. She owned her role in creating her future, even when success felt impossible. Eventually, that relentless responsibility paid off. Her books reshaped the publishing world, inspired millions, and built an empire. But none of that would have happened if she'd surrendered to victim thinking. Her story reminds us, success isn't reserved for the privileged. It's reserved for those willing to take ownership of their destiny. Let's be real. Life can be unfair. Some people start with more advantages than others. But focusing on what's outside your control only breeds resentment and frustration. Focusing on what is within your control, your mindset, your habits, your effort, your decisions, breeds progress. It puts your future back in your hands. Think of it like this. Imagine your life as a car. Circumstances might decide the terrain: smooth roads, hills, potholes, or detours. But you hold the steering wheel. You can choose to complain about the terrain, or you can grip the wheel tighter, adjust your route, and keep moving toward your destination. That's what taking responsibility looks like in action. So here's your reflective challenge for today. Where have you been blaming circumstances? Maybe you've said, if only I had more support. If only I had more time. If only life were easier. I want you to pause and ask yourself, how can I take back control? Grab that same notebook, and next to each excuse, write one action you can take, however small, to reclaim your power. You'll be amazed at how quickly your perspective shifts when you swap blame for responsibility. Remember this: successful people aren't handed perfect conditions. They create success by owning their role in shaping their future. They know life might not always be fair, but they refuse to be victims of circumstance. You can do the same. Take responsibility for your life, your choices, your mindset, your results. Own it fully, and you'll unlock doors most people never even reach. That's how success is built, one empowered decision at a time. Section 3. Set clear, compelling goals. If you don't know where you're going, how can you expect to get there? One of the most common reasons people stay stuck, frustrated, or spinning their wheels is because they lack clear, compelling goals. They have vague wishes like, "I want to be successful," "I want to be rich," or "I want to be happy," but no specific targets to aim for. And here's the truth: vague wishes stall progress. But direction creates momentum. When your goals are crystal clear, your mind, energy, and actions align toward achieving them. That's why successful people don't just dream. They set specific, ambitious, measurable goals that guide their journey. In 100 Things Successful People Do, Nigel Cumberland emphasizes that clarity in goal setting is a non-negotiable. It's not enough to want more. You have to define exactly what more means. Think of it like using a GPS. If you tell your GPS, "Take me somewhere nice," it can't help you. But when you enter a specific address, suddenly your route becomes clear. Your brain works the same way. Without clear goals, it has no roadmap. But with specific, compelling targets, your mind becomes laser-focused, scanning for opportunities, resources, and solutions to get you there. The psychology behind this is powerful. When you set clear goals, your brain activates a system called the Reticular Activating System, RAS. The RAS filters information, prioritizing anything relevant to your goal. Ever noticed how when you decide to buy a certain car, you suddenly see that car everywhere? That's your RAS at work. The same happens with goals. Once defined, your brain starts spotting pathways, people, and ideas aligned with your vision. But it goes deeper. Clear goals ignite motivation. Without them, daily life feels repetitive, uninspiring, and aimless. But when your goals excite you, you wake up with purpose. You endure obstacles because you see the bigger picture. You stay consistent because you know what you're working toward. That's the mental edge successful people harness daily. Let's talk practical application. One of the most effective frameworks for goal setting is the SMART method. SMART stands for specific. What exactly do you want? Measurable? How will you track progress? Achievable? Is it realistic with effort? Relevant? Does it align with your values? Time-bound. When will you achieve it? For example, instead of saying, "I want to be healthier," a SMART goal would be, "I will lose 10 kilograms in the next 90 days by exercising 4 times per week and following a nutrition plan." Notice how detailed, measurable, and time-specific that is? Suddenly, the goal feels actionable, and your brain knows exactly what success looks like. Writing your goals down is equally critical. Studies show that people who physically write their goals are significantly more likely to achieve them. The act of writing programs your subconscious mind, making the goal feel real and tangible. Keep your written goals somewhere visible: your desk, your phone background, your journal, to reinforce them daily. Vision boards are another powerful tool. By creating a visual representation of your goals, images, words, symbols, you tap into the emotional side of achievement. Our brains are wired to respond to imagery. Seeing your goals visualized triggers belief, excitement, and commitment. Successful people, from athletes to CEOs, use vision boards to stay aligned with their desired future. A perfect example of clear, compelling goal setting in action is Elon Musk. Love him or criticize him, you can't deny his ability to set audacious, specific goals and rally people to achieve them. With SpaceX, Musk didn't vaguely say, "I want to explore space." He declared, "We will make humanity a multiplanetary species by establishing a sustainable colony on Mars." That's specific, measurable, sustainable colony, and time-bound, targeting within this century. His clarity has driven innovation, attracted billions in investment, and kept teams relentlessly focused on that ambitious vision. With Tesla, it's the same story. Musk didn't settle for, "I want to make electric cars." His goal was bold. "We will accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy." Again, clear, compelling, world-changing. And because his goals are specific, he's achieved results others deemed impossible. Reusable rockets, high-performance electric cars, solar energy breakthroughs. That's the power of clear, ambitious goals. They turn dreams into measurable outcomes. You don't need to build rockets or revolutionize industries to apply this principle. Your clear, compelling goals might be to build a thriving business, achieve financial freedom, master a new skill, improve your health, or create a meaningful relationship. The scale doesn't matter. What matters is clarity. So here's your reflective challenge for today. Write one clear, time-bound goal you will commit to. Grab your notebook and answer these questions. What exactly do I want to achieve? Why does it matter to me? How will I measure my progress? What steps will I take daily or weekly? What is my deadline? For example, I will increase my income by $20,000 within the next 12 months by launching my online coaching business, securing 5 paying clients, and completing relevant certifications. See how specific that is? You can track progress, measure success, and stay motivated. And remember, the more your goal excites you emotionally, the more momentum you'll create. Boring goals stall action. Inspiring goals fuel commitment. If you're stuck, start small. Even setting a micro goal, like, "I will read one success book this month," builds your confidence and momentum. As you achieve small wins, you expand your capacity for bigger goals. One final tip: review your goals regularly. Life shifts, circumstances change, and your goals should evolve too. Successful people treat goal setting as an ongoing process, not a one-time event. Revisit your written goals weekly, track your progress, and adjust your actions accordingly. This keeps you aligned, motivated, and resilient when obstacles arise. Remember, direction creates momentum. Without clear goals, life drifts. With them, you lead your future intentionally. Define your success. Set compelling targets, and watch how your actions, focus, and results elevate. That's how the world's most successful people create extraordinary outcomes, one clear, ambitious goal at a time. Section 4. Develop grit and persistence. Here's an uncomfortable truth about success. It rarely happens overnight. Behind every success story, there are years of invisible effort, countless failures, endless rejections, and moments when quitting seemed easier than continuing. But successful people share a hidden ingredient that keeps them going long after others give up. It's not just talent. It's not luck. It's something far more powerful: grit and persistence. Angela Duckworth, a leading psychologist and author of the best-selling book Grit, defines this quality as a blend of passion and perseverance for long-term goals. Through her research, she discovered that the people who rise to the top in sports, business, education, and life aren't always the most naturally gifted. They are the ones who refuse to quit. Grit beats raw talent every single time because talent starts the race, but persistence finishes it. Think about the people you admire: athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders. What sets them apart? It's not just their skills or intelligence. It's their ability to keep going when it's hard, to stay focused when progress feels slow, and to rise after every setback. That's grit. Duckworth's research shows that gritty individuals maintain effort and interest in their goals over years, even decades. They understand that mastery and success are endurance tests, not quick sprints. Most of us want fast results: the viral video, the overnight promotion, the instant success story. But those are rare exceptions. The real path to success is paved with persistence, showing up consistently, and refusing to let obstacles define your journey. Why does this matter so much? Because without grit, even the most talented people stagnate. Talent may open doors, but without perseverance, those doors close quickly. Grit keeps you moving forward, building resilience, learning from failure, and turning challenges into stepping stones. So how do you develop grit? It's not something you're born with. It's a skill you cultivate day by day, action by action. Here are some practical steps to strengthen your grit muscle. 1. Break big goals into micro-commitments. Massive goals can feel overwhelming, making it easy to procrastinate or quit. But when you break them down into tiny, manageable steps, you build momentum. Want to write a book? Start with writing 200 words a day. Want to run a marathon? Begin by walking a mile consistently. Micro-commitments reduce overwhelm and keep you moving forward, one small win at a time. 2. Celebrate small wins. Persistence grows stronger when you acknowledge progress. Celebrate every milestone, no matter how small. Finished your first workout? Celebrate. Completed a week of consistent action? Acknowledge it. These small victories create positive reinforcement, boosting motivation and making the process enjoyable. 3. Learn from failure, don't fear it. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of the process. Every setback teaches you something. Instead of letting failure demoralize you, use it as fuel. Analyze what went wrong, adjust your approach, and try again. Successful people don't avoid failure. They embrace it as feedback for growth. One of the most legendary examples of grit and persistence is the story of Colonel Harlan Sanders, the founder of KFC. His success didn't happen early in life. It was the result of relentless perseverance in the face of rejection. At the age of 65, most people are thinking about retirement. But Sanders was still chasing his dream of sharing his fried chicken recipe with the world. He traveled across the U.S., pitching his recipe to restaurants, facing rejection after rejection. In fact, his recipe was turned down over 1,000 times before one restaurant finally said yes. Most people would have quit after the first few rejections, maybe the first 50, 100, or 500, but not Sanders. His belief in his product, coupled with unbreakable persistence, fueled him to keep going. That grit paid off. His brand, Kentucky Fried Chicken, became a global success, with thousands of outlets worldwide. His story proves that age, rejection, and failure are irrelevant when you have grit. Now, imagine if Sanders had given up after rejection, number 100, 500, or 999. His legacy and the empire he built would have never existed. That's the power of persistence. It turns impossible dreams into reality, but only for those willing to endure. Grit isn't glamorous. It's not about instant gratification. It's about waking up on the hard days when motivation is low, and doing the work anyway. It's about holding on to your vision when no one else believes in you. It's about staying committed when progress feels invisible. Here's the truth. You've probably quit something too soon before. Maybe it was a business idea, a personal goal, a relationship, or a dream you once had. That doesn't make you a failure. It makes you human. But today is your opportunity to recommit. So here's your reflective question. When did you quit too soon? Where can you recommit? Maybe you gave up on your fitness journey after hitting a plateau. Maybe you stopped pursuing your passion project because of fear or rejection. Maybe you shelved your dream because progress felt slow. Whatever it was, ask yourself, was it truly impossible? Or did I lack the grit to endure? The beauty of life is that it's never too late to start again. Every day offers a fresh opportunity to recommit to your goals, to embrace persistence, and to grow your grit. Remember, success is rarely about talent alone. It's about showing up again and again, even when the odds seem stacked against you. The world rewards those who keep going. Your breakthrough might be one more attempt away, one more call, one more proposal, one more courageous step. Grit ensures you keep taking those steps, even when the journey feels endless. So today, recommit to your goals with grit. Break them down. Celebrate progress. Learn from failure. And persist with passion. Like Colonel Sanders, your persistence can rewrite your future. Because talent starts the race, but only grit and persistence will carry you across the finish line. Section 5. Master self-discipline. If there's one trait that turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers, it's self-discipline. You see, most people wait for motivation. They act only when they feel inspired. But successful people understand a deeper truth. Discipline is greater than motivation. Discipline gets the work done long after excitement fades. It's the bridge between goals and results, dreams and reality, intentions and achievements. In 100 Things Successful People Do, Nigel Cumberland emphasizes that mastering self-discipline isn't about rigid rules or living a joyless life. It's about building the internal strength to do what matters most, even when you don't feel like it. Because here's the paradox. Discipline isn't restrictive. It's liberating. Discipline creates freedom. When you control your actions, your time, your habits, you gain the freedom to shape your life, your income, your health, and your future. The difference between achievers and dreamers often comes down to daily choices. Dreamers hope to succeed. Achievers build habits and routines that make success inevitable. They don't rely on willpower alone. They design systems that make discipline automatic. Let's unpack the science behind this. Neuroscience shows that willpower functions like a muscle. The more you exercise self-control, the stronger it gets. But like any muscle, willpower can also fatigue if overused. That's why relying on sheer determination for every decision often leads to burnout or inconsistency. Successful people understand this, so they reduce decision fatigue by creating routines and habits that eliminate the need for constant self-control. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, popularized the concept of habit stacking, linking a new, positive behavior to an existing habit. For example, after brushing your teeth, you might spend 5 minutes reading a personal development book. Or, after making your morning coffee, you write your top 3 priorities for the day. Over time, these small acts of discipline compound, creating unstoppable momentum. Environment design is another crucial element. Your surroundings influence your behavior more than you think. Want to eat healthier? Keep junk food out of the house? Want to be more productive? Create a clutter-free workspace. Successful people optimize their environments to make disciplined choices easy and undisciplined choices inconvenient. Accountability is the final pillar of building self-discipline. When your goals and actions are visible to others, you're more likely to follow through. This could be a mentor, a coach, a supportive friend, or even a public commitment. Accountability adds positive pressure, helping you stay consistent even when your motivation wavers. Few individuals embody legendary self-discipline like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. His success wasn't handed to him. It was carved out through relentless work ethic and unbreakable discipline. Whether it's his intense workout routines, his strict nutrition plan, or his commitment to personal growth, Johnson's life is a masterclass in self-control and consistency. Despite his global fame and success, Johnson wakes up at 4 a.m. to train, knowing that discipline builds both his body and his mindset. He's spoken openly about his early life struggles, poverty, rejection, failure, and how discipline became his tool for rising above those challenges. His schedule, his habits, and his routines are designed to eliminate excuses and maximize progress. But here's the key. Johnson didn't wake up one day with superhero discipline. He built it over time, one small decision at a time. That's how discipline works for all of us. You don't master it overnight, but with consistency, you cultivate it. And with discipline, your potential becomes limitless. It's easy to admire successful people and assume they have some genetic advantage, more willpower, more talent, more luck. But in reality, many of them simply mastered discipline in the small, unseen moments. The early mornings, the quiet nights, the daily grind. Those moments compound into extraordinary results. Imagine your life if you mastered self-discipline. What could you achieve if your habits aligned with your goals? How would your health, income, relationships, and mindset evolve if you consistently did what needs to be done, whether or not you felt like it? The beauty is, building discipline doesn't require giant leaps. It starts small. You don't have to overhaul your entire life in a day. You simply choose one small discipline to start building today. So here's your reflective challenge. What one small discipline can you start building today? Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier to focus on personal growth. Maybe it's committing to 10 minutes of exercise daily. Perhaps it's writing your priorities each morning, limiting distractions during work, or preparing healthy meals in advance. The size of the habit isn't as important as the consistency. Remember, discipline is a muscle. Start small, stay consistent, and you'll be amazed at how quickly your capacity grows. Over time, those small disciplined actions compound into confidence, momentum, and real results. Mastering self-discipline is one of the most powerful gifts you can give yourself. It transforms your potential from wishful thinking into practical reality. You stop waiting for ideal conditions, you stop relying on fleeting motivation, and you start building the life you envision. One disciplined choice at a time. In the end, success is rarely the product of luck or one-time effort. It's the outcome of daily discipline, systems, and habits stacked over months and years. Discipline is how you bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. So today, start with one small discipline. Stick to it. Let it build your confidence and momentum. And watch as consistency compounds, turning ordinary days into extraordinary achievements. That's how successful people create freedom, through the mastery of self-discipline. Section 6. Cultivate a growth mindset. If you truly want to unlock your potential and create lasting success, you need more than skills, talent, or even opportunity. You need the right mindset. Specifically, You need what psychologist Carol Dweck calls a growth mindset. This is the belief that your abilities, intelligence, and skills can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. It's the mindset that separates those who achieve great things from those who stay stuck, playing small, trapped by their own limitations. Dweck's groundbreaking research, shared in her book Mindset, reveals that success consistently favors people who embrace challenges, learn from setbacks, and believe they can grow. In contrast, those with a fixed mindset, the belief that your abilities are static and unchangeable, tend to avoid challenges, give up easily, and stay confined by self-imposed limits. The good news? Your mindset is not fixed. You can choose to cultivate a growth mindset, and doing so will transform how you approach life, failure, and success. Let's make this real. Imagine two people face the same obstacle. Say, a rejection from a job or a failed business attempt. A person with a fixed mindset might say, "I guess I'm not good enough," "I'm not smart enough," or "I'll never succeed." They retreat, avoid future challenges, and slowly their confidence erodes. But someone with a growth mindset thinks differently. They say, "What can I learn from this? How can I improve? I'm not there yet, but I can get better." That small shift in thinking changes everything. Growth-minded individuals understand that setbacks aren't proof of inadequacy. They're opportunities to learn, adapt, and improve. That's why avoiding a fixed mindset keeps you resilient. Life will test you. Success isn't a straight line. Challenges, criticism, and failures are inevitable. But with a growth mindset, you stay adaptable, resourceful, and committed to evolving. Here's where it gets exciting. Neuroscience backs this up. Studies show that the brain is highly plastic, meaning it can change, form new neural connections, and develop new abilities throughout life. This is called neuroplasticity. Your brain literally rewires itself in response to learning and effort. The more you practice a skill, tackle challenges, or embrace feedback, the stronger and more capable your brain becomes. So, how do you practically cultivate a growth mindset? Let's break it down. 1. Reframe. Failure. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. Every mistake, rejection, or setback holds valuable lessons if you're willing to look for them. Instead of saying, "I failed," say, "I learned." Instead of thinking, "I'm not good at this," say, "I'm improving." This small mental shift builds resilience and keeps you growing. 2. Seek feedback. Feedback is fuel for growth. Successful people actively seek constructive criticism, knowing it exposes blind spots and accelerates improvement. Don't fear feedback, embrace it. Ask mentors, peers, or even critics, "How can I do better?" Feedback isn't personal. It's information that helps you level up. 3. Celebrate effort, not just outcomes. Focusing only on results can be discouraging, especially when progress feels slow. But when you celebrate effort, consistency, and improvement, you reinforce the behaviors that lead to mastery. Applaud yourself for practicing, learning, and persisting, even before success arrives. This keeps motivation high and prevents burnout. Let's look at a real-world example that perfectly illustrates the growth mindset in action. The story of Michael Jordan. Today, Jordan is celebrated as one of the greatest athletes of all time, a global icon, and the embodiment of excellence. But many forget how his journey began. In high school, Jordan was cut from his varsity basketball team. For most teenagers, that rejection would have crushed their confidence. Many would have given up, assuming they lacked the talent to succeed. But Jordan had a growth mindset. He didn't see the rejection as a sign of failure. He saw it as a challenge to improve. Instead of quitting, he poured himself into practice. He worked harder, trained longer, and refined his skills relentlessly. That rejection fueled his drive to grow. Over the years, his dedication turned raw potential into greatness. 6 NBA championships, 5 MVP awards, and countless records. Jordan's story proves that success isn't reserved for the naturally gifted. It's earned by those willing to embrace challenges, learn from failure, and keep growing. But growth doesn't only apply to sports or careers. It applies to every area of life. Relationships, health, finances, leadership, creativity, all improve when you believe in your ability to grow. With a fixed mindset, you avoid hard conversations, new skills, or bold moves. With a growth mindset, you lean into discomfort, knowing it's the birthplace of transformation. It's important to recognize that everyone has areas where a fixed mindset sneaks in. Maybe you believe you're not a math person, bad with money, uncreative, or too old to change. But these are stories, not facts. The brain's capacity for growth is available to you at any age, in any area, if you're willing to put in the effort. So here's your reflective challenge for today. Where are you fixed? How can you embrace growth today? Take a moment and be honest. Is there a skill, habit, or area of your life where you've said, "I'm just not good at that"? Maybe it's public speaking, starting a business, learning technology, or improving your health. Identify that fixed mindset. Then flip the script. Replace "I'm bad at this" with "I'm improving." Replace "I can't do that" with "I can learn that." Replace "I'll never succeed" with "I'll grow until I do." This mental reframe unlocks doors that once felt closed. Every expert was once a beginner. Every master faced setbacks. Every successful person had moments of doubt, failure, and frustration. But they chose growth over limitation. The path to success isn't paved with perfection. It's built with persistence, learning, and the unwavering belief that you can improve. Cultivating a growth mindset keeps you adaptable in the face of change, resilient in the face of failure, and empowered to reach your potential. Remember, your current abilities are not your ceiling. They're your starting point. You can learn, evolve, and grow beyond what you currently believe is possible. That's how ordinary people create extraordinary success. So today, choose growth. Embrace challenges. Seek feedback. Celebrate effort. And watch how your mindset becomes the foundation for everything you want to achieve. The world belongs to those who believe they can grow. And that includes you. Section 7. Build powerful relationships. Success may feel like a personal journey. Your dreams, your effort, your vision. But the truth is, no one achieves greatness alone. Behind every successful person is a network of mentors, supporters, collaborators, and allies who help open doors, share wisdom, provide opportunities, and elevate your potential. Success is rarely a solo mission. It's built on relationships. In 100 Things Successful People Do, Nigel Cumberland emphasizes that building powerful relationships isn't optional. It's essential. No matter how talented, disciplined, or ambitious you are, your network amplifies your reach, accelerates your progress, and shapes your future. The people around you influence your mindset, your opportunities, and even your belief in what's possible. Think about it. Every major success story, from business empires to world-changing inventions, is rooted in connection. Behind every achievement, there are mentors offering guidance, supporters cheering you on, and collaborators turning vision into reality. Surrounding yourself with the right people is one of the fastest ways to elevate your potential. But here's the mistake most people make. They approach relationships with a transactional mindset, thinking, What can I get from this person? That attitude repels genuine connection. Successful people flip the script. They focus on giving before they ask, adding value, and building trust over time. Relationships rooted in authenticity, generosity, and shared values create powerful, lasting success. Let's talk practical actions to build relationships that truly matter. 1. Give before you ask. The fastest way to build trust and connection is to offer value without expecting immediate returns. Can you share knowledge, make introductions, offer encouragement, or provide resources? When you contribute to others' success, you become memorable, respected, and welcomed into influential circles. 2. Be authentic. People can sense insincerity from a mile away. Authenticity means showing up as your real self, your strengths, your struggles, your story. You don't need to impress people with perfection. You need to connect through honesty, humility, and shared humanity. The most meaningful relationships are built on trust, not ego. 3. Invest in connections. Strong relationships require consistent effort. Stay in touch, show appreciation, celebrate others' wins, and be present during challenges. Relationships aren't built overnight. They grow through shared experiences and genuine care. The more you invest, the deeper the connection becomes. A powerful example of building relationships to elevate success is Richard Branson, the founder of the Virgin Group. Branson's empire, spanning airlines, music, telecom, and space travel, didn't grow through solo effort. His journey is a testament to the power of partnerships, collaborations, and networks. Branson openly admits he's not the most technical or detail-oriented entrepreneur. His superpower is people, finding talented collaborators, building strategic partnerships, and nurturing relationships that drive his companies forward. He surrounds himself with experts, empowers his teams, and leverages his network to tackle bold challenges. One of Virgin's earliest successes came from relationships. Branson negotiated partnerships with airlines, record labels, and entrepreneurs who shared his vision. His willingness to invest in people, treat them well, and build authentic connections has made him not only successful, but widely respected. Branson's story reminds us that relationships multiply your impact. Alone, your resources are limited. With a powerful network, your influence, ideas, and opportunities expand exponentially. You gain access to knowledge, introductions, support, and even doors that may otherwise stay closed. It's also important to remember that relationships go beyond professional gain. They shape your mindset and well-being. Surrounding yourself with positive, growth-minded, supportive people elevates your standards and fuels your motivation. But staying connected to toxic, negative, or limiting individuals can drag you down, stifle ambition, and chip away at your confidence. That's why successful people are intentional about their inner circle. They seek out mentors who challenge their thinking, peers who inspire action, and collaborators who share values. They understand that proximity is power. Being around driven, authentic people accelerates personal and professional growth. But don't wait for the perfect network to appear. Start where you are. Look around and identify relationships you can nurture today. Who can you support, appreciate, or reconnect with? Even small acts, a message of encouragement, sharing a helpful resource, or introducing two like-minded people, strengthen your network over time. Also, don't underestimate the power of mentorship. Finding mentors, even informal ones, can transform your trajectory. Mentors share hard-earned wisdom, help you avoid mistakes, and provide guidance from their own experience. Sometimes mentorship is structured, but often it starts with building rapport, adding value, and showing genuine interest. Remember, Mentorship isn't about asking for shortcuts. It's about learning, growing, and honoring the mentor-mentee relationship through respect and contribution. Many successful people are eager to mentor others, but they're drawn to individuals who demonstrate initiative, humility, and commitment. Let me ask you this. Who's in your corner? Who challenges you to grow? Who supports your vision? And equally important, who might be limiting your progress? Take inventory of your current relationships, both personal and professional. Nurture the connections that elevate you. Be intentional about reducing time spent with those who drain your energy or fuel negativity. Here's your reflective challenge for today. Who can you genuinely support today? How can you build value-based relationships? Think about someone in your network, a friend, colleague, mentor, or peer, and ask yourself, how can I help them succeed? Maybe you can share an article, recommend a resource, introduce them to someone beneficial, or simply offer encouragement. Start small, but start now. Over time, these small acts create powerful bonds and open unexpected doors. Relationships aren't built with an agenda. They flourish through authenticity, generosity, and shared growth. When you focus on lifting others, you rise too. That's the hidden secret behind every thriving entrepreneur, visionary leader, or successful professional. Their success is woven with the strength of their relationships. In the end, success isn't just about what you know. It's about who you know, how you serve, and the relationships you nurture along the way. Invest in people, lead with authenticity, and watch how your network becomes your greatest asset. Because success is rarely solo, but with powerful relationships, there's no limit to how far you can go. Section 8. Develop resilience and bounce back. Every single person faces adversity. Setbacks, failures, disappointments, betrayals, they are inevitable parts of life, no matter how talented, prepared, or positive you are. But while challenges are guaranteed, your response is always optional. The most successful people in the world aren't those who never fall. They're the ones who always choose to rise. Resilience isn't about avoiding difficulty. It's about developing the inner strength to bounce back, stronger, wiser, and more determined. In 100 Things Successful People Do, Nigel Cumberland highlights that setbacks are not the end of your story, unless you let them be. Successful individuals don't see failure as final. They see it as feedback, as fuel for growth. The ability to recover, adapt, and keep going is what separates those who stay stuck from those who thrive. Psychologists define resilience as the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. But here's the empowering truth. Resilience is not an inborn trait. It's a skill you can develop. It's like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. You cultivate resilience through repeated practice, by facing discomfort, managing your emotions, and shifting your perspective when life doesn't go as planned. Many people believe that resilient individuals are simply tougher or unaffected by pain. But real resilience isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending to be invincible. It's about emotional regulation, acknowledging your feelings without being overwhelmed by them. It's the ability to stay grounded in the storm, to breathe through frustration, and to choose action over paralysis. One of the most iconic real-world examples of resilience is the story of Steve Jobs and his unforgettable comeback at Apple. Today, Jobs is revered as a visionary genius who revolutionized technology, design, and business. But his journey wasn't a smooth ascent. It was marked by extraordinary failure and even public humiliation. In 1985, Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, was forced out of the very company he helped create. Imagine that. Building your dream, pouring your heart and soul into it, only to be ousted from your own organization. For many, that kind of betrayal would have shattered their confidence and drive. But Jobs embodied resilience. Instead of letting rejection define him, he used the setback as a springboard. He founded Next, a new computer company, and invested in Pixar Animation Studios, which eventually became one of the most successful entertainment companies in the world. When Apple purchased Next in 1997, Jobs returned to the company he once led, this time wiser, more experienced, and with renewed vision. Under his leadership, Apple not only recovered, it became one of the most valuable and innovative companies in history. iMacs, iPods, iPhones, iPads. These iconic products emerged after Jobs' greatest setback. His story reminds us that failure is not the opposite of success. It is often the foundation for your most significant breakthroughs. So how do you practically develop resilience in your own life? Here are powerful tools to help you bounce back stronger. 1. Emotional regulation. Resilience doesn't mean ignoring your emotions. It means learning to navigate them. When you face setbacks, allow yourself to feel frustration, sadness, disappointment. But don't let those emotions dictate your decisions. Use techniques like deep breathing, journaling, or mindfulness to process emotions and return to a grounded state. This prevents impulsive reactions and helps you respond with clarity. 2. Perspective shifts. Challenges feel overwhelming when we believe they are permanent or define our worth. Resilient people reframe setbacks. They see them as temporary, specific to a situation, and filled with lessons. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they ask, "What can this teach me?" This mental shift turns obstacles into opportunities for growth. 3. Learning loops. Failure is inevitable. Repeating the same mistakes is optional. Resilient individuals use setbacks as part of a learning loop. Reflect on what happened, extract lessons, adjust your approach, and try again. This cycle transforms failure into progress, builds confidence, and keeps you evolving, no matter the circumstances. Here's the beautiful part. Each time you rise after a setback, your resilience grows, your self-belief strengthens, your coping skills sharpen, and your ability to handle adversity expands. Over time, what once felt overwhelming becomes manageable, and what once seemed impossible becomes your new normal. But developing resilience doesn't mean you won't struggle. There will be hard days, moments of doubt, and times when giving up feels tempting. That's normal. The key is to honor those feelings without surrendering to them. Take time to regroup, lean on your support system, and remind yourself of your capacity to overcome. It's also important to surround yourself with resilient role models and positive influences. Their stories remind you that setbacks are not unique to you, they're universal. Every person you admire has faced failures, rejection, loss, or disappointment. Yet they chose to rise. Resilience isn't reserved for entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs. It applies to every area of life. Whether you're recovering from a career setback, a personal loss, a financial hardship, or a relationship breakdown, the same principles apply. Your current struggle is not the end of your story. It's a chapter. You have the power to rewrite what comes next. Let me ask you, what setback can become your greatest comeback story? Maybe you've faced rejection in your career. Maybe your business idea failed. Maybe you experienced a personal heartbreak, health challenge, or financial loss. Reflect on that moment, not with self-pity, but with curiosity. What can this experience teach you? How can it make you stronger wiser, or more determined. Your greatest growth often comes from your greatest struggles. Remember, every setback carries the seeds of a comeback. It's not about avoiding the fall. It's about choosing to rise, again and again. That's how resilience is forged. That's how success stories are written. The most remarkable part? You already have resilience within you. Every challenge you've overcome, every obstacle you've faced, every time you stood back up, those moments have prepared you for whatever comes next. You are more capable, more adaptable, and more powerful than you may realize. So today, commit to developing your resilience. Practice emotional regulation, shift your perspective, and use every setback as fuel for growth. Refuse to let failure define you. Let it refine you. Like Steve Jobs, your comeback might just become the most significant chapter of your success story. Setbacks are inevitable, but bouncing back is a choice. Choose to rise. Section 9. Master your time and priorities. Here's a hard truth that successful people understand better than anyone. Time is your most limited, non-renewable, precious resource. You can earn more money, build more skills, or create more opportunities. But you can never get back lost time. Every minute wasted is a minute you'll never reclaim. That's why mastering your time and priorities is one of the most critical skills on the journey to success. In 100 Things Successful People Do, Nigel Cumberland emphasizes that achievers treat their time with respect. They guard it fiercely, invest it wisely, and constantly ask, "Is this the highest and best use of my time right now?" You see, success isn't just about working harder. It's about working smarter. It's about ruthlessly prioritizing the few activities that create the biggest impact and learning to say no to distractions, obligations, and time drains that pull you away from your goals. Think about this. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. The difference between thriving individuals and those who constantly feel overwhelmed isn't more time. It's better prioritization. The most successful people are experts at separating what's urgent from what's important, and they design their schedules around activities that drive long-term results. One powerful tool they often use is the Eisenhower Matrix, named after former U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who famously said, "What is important is seldom urgent, and what is urgent is seldom important." The matrix helps categorize tasks into 4 quadrants. 1. Urgent and important. Do these immediately. 2. Important but not urgent. Schedule these intentionally. These tasks drive growth and success. 3. Urgent but not important. Delegate or minimize these distractions. 4. Not urgent, not important. Eliminate these entirely. Most people stay trapped in Quadrant 3, reacting to emails, messages, meetings, or busy work that feels urgent but doesn't truly move the needle. Successful people spend most of their time in Quadrant 2, proactively working on long-term goals, building relationships, improving skills, and creating future success. Another strategy high achievers use is time blocking. Instead of letting the day dictate their actions, they structure their calendar around focused blocks of time for deep, high-impact work. Whether it's writing, strategic thinking, building relationships, or learning, they carve out protected time where distractions are minimized and productivity soars. For example, if your mornings are your peak energy window, use that time for your most important tasks. Block it on your calendar, turn off notifications, and immerse yourself in focused work. Leave low-priority tasks, meetings, or administrative work for later in the day, when your energy naturally dips. But here's the uncomfortable part. To master your time, you must master the art of saying no with confidence. Every yes to an unnecessary meeting, pointless task, or unaligned commitment is a no to your own priorities. Successful people aren't afraid to set boundaries. They protect their time like it's gold, because it is. One of the best examples of extreme focus and ruthless prioritization is legendary investor Warren Buffett. Despite managing billions of dollars and having access to endless opportunities, Buffett is known for his simple, disciplined approach to time management. Buffett's philosophy? Focus on a few vital priorities and ignore everything else. He once advised his personal pilot to list his top 25 career goals, then circle the top 5. Buffett told him to focus solely on those 5 and avoid the remaining 20 at all costs, not because they weren't important, but because they were distractions from his most critical objectives. Buffett applies the same discipline to his schedule. His calendar is famously empty compared to other high-powered CEOs. He spends much of his time reading, thinking, and making calculated decisions, not rushing from one meeting to another. His success proves that guarding your time, focusing on the few activities that matter, and eliminating distractions is a winning formula. Now, let's bring this closer to home. Think back to your last week. Be honest. How much time slipped through your fingers due to distractions, procrastination, or low-priority tasks? How often did you say yes to things that didn't align with your true goals? How much of your day was spent reacting instead of creating? Here's your reflective challenge. Audit your last week. Where did time slip? How can you reclaim it? Look at your calendar, your to-do list, even your phone's screen time reports. Identify the leaks. Unnecessary meetings, endless scrolling, aimless multitasking, time spent on other people's priorities instead of your own. Awareness is the first step to reclaiming control. Once you've identified the leaks, start applying the tools. Use the Eisenhower matrix to sort your tasks. Eliminate the non-essential. Time block your calendar to protect your high-focus hours. Practice saying no, kindly but firmly, to obligations that drain your time. You don't need to overhaul your entire schedule overnight. Start small. Protect 1 hour a day for your most meaningful work. Gradually build discipline around your time, and you'll be amazed at how much more focused, productive, and empowered you feel. Remember, mastering your time isn't about squeezing more into your day. It's about doing fewer things better. It's about aligning your daily actions with your long-term vision. It's about recognizing that every minute wasted is a minute you can't get back. So you choose to guard your time fiercely. The world rewards those who master their priorities. While others stay busy, successful people stay effective. While others chase distractions, successful people focus on impact. You can be busy, or you can be productive. The choice is yours. So today, reclaim your time, audit your schedule, eliminate distractions, say no to what doesn't serve your vision, prioritize what truly matters, because your time is your life. And when you master your time, you master your future. Section 10. Embrace lifelong learning. One of the most defining qualities of highly successful people is their relentless commitment to growth. They understand that the world evolves, industries change, technology advances, markets shift, and new challenges emerge. To stay ahead, you must evolve too. In a rapidly changing world, the greatest risk isn't taking chances, it's standing still. The only real security is in your ability to learn, adapt, and grow continuously. Nigel Cumberland highlights in 100 Things Successful People. Do that success is not a destination. It's a journey fueled by curiosity and constant improvement. The people at the top of their game, whether in business, sports, science, or the arts, are perpetual students. They devour knowledge, upgrade their skills, and stretch their minds, knowing that growth never stops. Think about it. Every breakthrough, every innovation, every leap in success is rooted in learning. The most valuable individuals in any field are those who refuse to coast on past achievements. Instead, they ask, "What more can I learn? How can I improve? Where can I grow?" That hunger for knowledge creates an unstoppable momentum. In today's fast-paced, competitive world, staying stagnant is falling behind. But embracing lifelong learning gives you an edge, mentally, professionally, and personally. It keeps your skills sharp, your ideas fresh, and your mindset adaptable. But lifelong learning isn't just formal education. You don't need to enroll in a university or pursue endless degrees to grow. In fact, some of the most successful people in the world never completed traditional education. Yet they are relentless learners. Learning is a lifestyle. It's in your daily habits, your reading routines, your curiosity, and your willingness to challenge your thinking. One of the most inspiring real-world examples of this is Bill Gates, co-founder of Microsoft and one of the world's most influential thinkers. Despite his immense success, Gates remains a voracious learner. He reads about 50 books a year, covering topics from technology to history, science to philosophy. But beyond casual reading, Gates practices something called Think Weeks. Twice a year, Gates isolates himself, no meetings, no distractions, and dedicates an entire week to deep reading, reflection, and strategic thinking. During these weeks, he devours reports, research, books, and articles, exploring emerging ideas, disruptive innovations, and global trends. Many of Microsoft's biggest breakthroughs, including some of their early internet strategies, were born from Gates's Think Weeks. What makes this so powerful isn't just the knowledge Gates acquires. It's the discipline to step back from the noise, cultivate curiosity, and create space for deep learning. Gates understands that in order to lead, innovate, and grow, you must make time for learning. Imagine what would happen if you adopted even a fraction of that mindset in your life. You don't need a secluded cabin or an entire week. But what if you set aside 30 minutes a day to read, learn a new skill, or explore a new idea? Over time, those small daily deposits of knowledge compound, sharpening your thinking, expanding your capabilities, and elevating your success. Here's how you can practically embrace lifelong learning. 1. Create a reading routine. The most successful people are readers, because reading compresses decades of knowledge into hours. Start small. Commit to 10 to 20 pages a day. Choose books that challenge your thinking, expand your perspective, or deepen your expertise. Whether it's personal development, business strategy, history, or science, every page adds to your growth. 2. Upgrade your skills. Regularly. The job market, technology, and industries evolve rapidly. To stay competitive, continuously upgrade your skills. Take online courses, attend workshops, practice new tools, or learn relevant software. The most valuable individuals are those who adapt quickly and bring fresh skills to the table. 3. Cultivate curiosity. Success isn't just about formal learning. It's fueled by curiosity. Ask more questions. Explore new topics outside your comfort zone. Engage in thought-provoking conversations. Seek out podcasts, documentaries, or articles that stretch your understanding. A curious mind stays open, agile, and innovative. It's also essential to learn from experience, both your own and others. Every success, every mistake, every setback holds lessons. Reflect regularly. What worked? What didn't? How can I improve? This reflective learning accelerates your growth far beyond theory. Lifelong learning isn't only about professional advancement, it enriches your life on every level. It boosts confidence, fosters adaptability, deepens your understanding of the world, and keeps your mind sharp as you age. Neuroscience shows that learning new skills creates new neural pathways, improving cognitive function, and even protecting against mental decline. Yet, many people stop learning the moment formal education ends. They become complacent, relying on outdated knowledge or old ways of thinking. But in a world that never stops changing, standing still is falling behind. Those who embrace lifelong learning stay ahead. They anticipate change, adapt with ease, and seize new opportunities before others even recognize them. The most successful people in any field, from tech giants to creative innovators, share one common trait: an unrelenting commitment to growth. They understand that their current knowledge, no matter how vast, is never complete. There's always more to explore, more to understand, and more to become. So here's your reflective challenge. What new skill, book, or idea will you explore this week? Think about your goals, your interests, your areas for improvement. Maybe it's reading a book that challenges your thinking. Maybe it's watching an educational video, enrolling in an online course, or practicing a new language. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. Small, consistent learning creates powerful momentum. Imagine your life a year from now if you committed to daily learning. Picture the new skills, the expanded mindset, the deeper confidence you'll build. That's the compounding power of lifelong learning. Each small step multiplies over time. The world belongs to the learners, those who stay curious, adaptable, and open to growth. The more you learn, the more valuable you become. The more valuable you become, the more opportunities flow your way. Success isn't static, it's dynamic, and those who embrace constant learning stay ahead of the curve. So, make a choice today. Pick up that book. Sign up for that course. Ask the tough questions. Stay curious. Because when you commit to lifelong learning, you unlock the greatest investment of all, your own potential. Section 11. Leave a legacy and serve others. At the heart of every great success story lies something deeper than wealth, fame, or status. Its impact. True success isn't measured only by personal achievement, but by the ripple effect you create in the lives of others. It's easy to chase goals for your own advancement, but the most fulfilled, respected, and admired people in history share one thing in common. They used their success to serve, uplift, and empower others. They left a legacy that outlasts their lifetime. In 100 Things Successful People Do, Nigel Cumberland reminds us that achievement without contribution feels hollow. You can accumulate money, recognition, or even mastery. But if your success ends with you, it will eventually be forgotten. But when your daily actions lift others, create opportunity, or spark change, your legacy lives on long after you're gone. Think of the leaders, innovators, and icons we still celebrate today. They are remembered not just for what they accomplished, but for how they used their success to impact society. They understood that significance outlasts success. Significance is about contribution, service, and creating value beyond yourself. One of the most inspiring examples of legacy-driven success is the story of Muhammad Yunus, the Nobel Peace Prize-winning economist who revolutionized the world of finance with a simple yet profound idea: microfinance. In the 1970s, Yunus recognized a heartbreaking cycle of poverty in Bangladesh. Millions of people, especially women, were trapped in poverty because they lacked access to basic financial resources. Traditional banks refused to lend to the poor, believing they were too risky. And without capital, these individuals couldn't start businesses or improve their lives. Yunus saw an opportunity to serve, to use his knowledge and resources to create change. He founded Grameen Bank, offering small loans, sometimes as little as $20, to impoverished entrepreneurs without requiring collateral. His belief? Given the opportunity, people will rise. And they did. Over time, Grameen Bank empowered millions, especially women, to start businesses, support their families, and break generational cycles of poverty. Today, the microfinance model Yunus pioneered has transformed lives in over 100 countries, proving that even small acts of service, when scaled, can reshape the world. What makes Yunus's story remarkable isn't just the success of Grameen Bank. It's the legacy of empowerment, dignity, and opportunity he created for those society had written off. His work reminds us that true fulfillment comes not from what you gain, but from what you give. But leaving a legacy isn't reserved for global leaders or Nobel laureates. Every person, regardless of status, has the ability to serve, uplift, and create impact in their own sphere. You leave a legacy through your daily choices. How you treat others, how you mentor, how you contribute to your community, how you inspire the next generation. Here's the truth. We all want to be remembered. We want our lives to matter. But the question isn't whether you'll leave a legacy. It's what kind of legacy you'll leave. Will your actions echo with kindness, service, and empowerment? Or will they fade into self-centered pursuits? To live a life of impact, start by shifting your mindset from success for self to success for service. That doesn't mean neglecting your goals. It means using your achievements as a platform to lift others. The more you grow, the more you can give. Consider simple yet powerful ways to create significance. 1. Mentor someone. Share your knowledge, experience, and encouragement. Even small acts of guidance can change someone's trajectory. Think of the mentors who shaped your journey. Now, be that person for someone else. 2. Serve your community. Look for ways to contribute locally. Volunteer, support causes, or get involved in projects that uplift those around you. Community service creates immediate, tangible impact and deep fulfillment. 3. Give generously. Whether it's your time, skills, resources, or finances, giving fuels change. You don't need vast wealth to make a difference. Even small, consistent acts of generosity build a legacy of compassion. 4. Build with intention. Whatever you're creating, a business, a career, a family, a project, build with the intention of leaving it better than you found it. Success built on integrity, value, and service has lasting impact. Legacy isn't only about large-scale achievements, it's about daily actions that ripple outward. A kind word, a helping hand, a shared resource. These small choices, compounded over time, shape how you'll be remembered. Serving others isn't just about them, it transforms you. Research shows that acts of service boost happiness, reduce stress, and increase life satisfaction. When you help others rise, you rise too. Your confidence grows, your purpose deepens, and your success becomes more meaningful. But here's the deeper truth. None of us are promised tomorrow. Life is fleeting. The only thing that endures beyond our years is the impact we've made. That's why living with legacy in mind creates urgency. It challenges you to ask, am I using my time, talents, and resources to make a difference? Your legacy isn't written in one grand gesture. It's built moment by moment, decision by decision. Every interaction is a chance to uplift. Every opportunity is a chance to contribute. Every success is a platform to serve. Think of the people who've shaped your life. Mentors, teachers, leaders, family members. Chances are they impacted you not with grand gestures, but with consistent care, support, and belief in your potential. Now, imagine the ripple effect if you became that person for someone else. Here's your reflective challenge. What legacy will your daily actions build? Who will you lift? It starts now. You don't need permission. You don't need perfection. You only need the willingness to serve, the courage to lead, and the heart to give. Every time you choose contribution over complacency, service over self-interest, impact over ego, you etch your legacy deeper. The most powerful success isn't measured in wealth, titles, or accolades. It's measured in lives touched, opportunities created, and positive change sparked. The world doesn't just need more successful people. It needs more leaders, mentors, givers, and legacy builders. So today, commit to serving others. Use your success as a platform for good. Mentor, uplift, contribute, and create ripples of impact that extend far beyond yourself. Because true success is about impact, true fulfillment comes from contribution. And your legacy? It's written not in what you achieve for yourself, but in what you build for others. Conclusion. Success is not some mysterious force reserved for the lucky few. It's not hidden behind secret doors or locked away for the privileged. Success is built, brick by brick, choice by choice, action by action. And throughout this guide, we've uncovered the blueprint laid out in 100 Things Successful People Do by Nigel Cumberland. Practical, powerful steps that anyone can take to unlock their full potential. It starts with belief, the unshakable conviction that you are worthy of success and capable of creating it. From there, it's about ownership, taking responsibility for your life, your choices, and your future. Success demands clarity, setting specific, compelling goals that give your energy direction. But goals alone aren't enough. Grit and persistence keep you moving when the path gets tough. Discipline transforms your habits, builds momentum, and compounds your results over time. Your mindset fuels everything. Cultivating a growth mindset keeps you adaptable, resilient, and open to learning. But success isn't a solo journey. Building authentic, value-based relationships elevates your potential and connects you to greater opportunities. Resilience ensures that setbacks don't break you. They build you stronger. Mastering your time and priorities protects your most precious resource, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. Embracing lifelong learning keeps you sharp, curious, and ahead of the curve. And ultimately, true success is measured not just in achievements, but in legacy, how you serve, uplift, and impact others. Let this be your reminder. Success isn't for the chosen few. It's for the committed. You don't need to have it all figured out today, but small, consistent steps, practiced daily, create extraordinary lives. So, here's your next step. Comment below your favorite success insight from this guide. Share this with someone ready to level up. And don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing book guides that inspire and empower your journey. Your success story starts now. Let's build it together.